Richard Kuchen. I was a Teleman first class when I was discharged. And in August, my tour came to an end. They sent me orders. They sent me orders for NAS New Orleans. I wanted to stay with the ship, I really did, because I wanted to come back and complete the cruise. And they would have let me. They asked me if I wanted to. I thought it over and I said, well, I don't know how long we're going to be circling out here. And I was kind of sick of it anyway because of the regimentation that we had on there. It was difficult. So I said, no, send me back to Brooklyn. So they highlined me off to Saratoga to a ammunition ship, I think it was. And it took me to Cyprus. And I stayed there for about a week. And then they flew me to Naples. And one of these, I never thought we'd get off the ground. One of these planes with the bucket seats where you could just sit in a bucket. But we got off the ground all right. And from Naples, they put me aboard a ship and I went back to Brooklyn. And they never offered me anything in Brooklyn. They never spoke to me. You know, they never, it's not like today where, you know, they want to maintain, you know, from what I understand, they gave out some beautiful bonuses to a lot of guys who were, you know, what's his name? Mooney turned down $10,000. And, but I got $300 mustering out pay and went out. I had every intention of coming back. Of course, I signed, when I signed up, it was 8 years. You had to sign for 8 years. My discharge reads August 54 to August 62. It was 4 years active, 4 years inactive, but the inactive time you were technically, you were in the Navy and they could call you back at any time they wanted to. So that's why it was an 8-year obligation. 3 years later, I got married, so everything kind of changed. I went to Earl, which was an ammunition depot, which is right out here, and I wanted to sign it. They were going to give me my first class rating back, and the Vietnam War was on. And I had a child, and my wife got all upset. And she said, you know, what if they call your unit, you know? I said, well, I doubt whether they will, and they never did, but so I trashed that. That was a mistake. I didn't go to the active reserve. I stayed where I was. But I'll tell you about an unusual incident. You'll see it in the pictures. I got up to the signal gang somehow. You had to pass the captain and the admiral. We had an admiral at sea when we took these cruises. I had to get up through their passageways somehow to get to the signal, which was at the top of the superstructure. I got up there, and that's where a lot of these pictures are from. I took pictures of the action on the flight deck. Something that you would never have if I couldn't have gotten to that height to look down with my camera and get it. And years later, I was looking at them. I was looking at them, and there was a squadron of, we still had 3 or 4 squadrons of propeller planes at that time. And they all had numbers, and actually, naturally, every plane was numbered, so. I'm looking at the number, 9961. This was like, oh, maybe 20 years after I got married or something, or 25. I say, what a coincidence. That was the exact day and month and year that I got married. And I took a picture of the plane 3 years before I got married. So I don't know what that meant, but it was quite a coincidence, let's put it that way. Here's a plane with that projected my marriage date 3 years before it happened. And I got a kick out of that. I never had an interview with anybody when I got back to Brooklyn. And I was in Brooklyn for a number of days before they discharged me. In fact, I got out late because of the Lebanon thing. I got out on the 25th, but I was due out on the 13th. But I went before the chief or whoever it was, and he never offered me a damn thing. He signed me, and he said, "You get $300 monthly out pay," and he gave me a check for $300. And he did mention why I wasn't staying in. And when I told him that I wanted to get out and think it over, so to speak, I didn't want to go to New Orleans, he didn't say much after that. It was fine. I give you your transportation back home, and that was it. Goodbye. Nice having you around. Today they do a little bit different, I know, yeah. But I enjoyed every minute of it, so it doesn't matter. It's hard to reflect back because I had a good life, and I would have never met my wife and had these three girls. You don't know where you'd be. You might be dead. Who knows where you'd be? You know, here I am at 85. You know, I've been through a lot. I was a twin when I was born. My twin was born dead before me. They didn't give me any chance of living. My father said I was like this big. So I've been through a lot of shit and made it all the way through. In fact, I might even beat this cancer. I don't know. I beat everything else